leluhur kita dari Tiongkok itu, di sana mereka terbiasa bekerja dengan keras, dengan tekun. Dalam bidang apapun di sini, mereka lebih cepat untuk berhasil.
Ya, ini kan sebetulnya satu budaya yang termasuk sebetulnya subkultur bangsa Indonesia juga ya, keturunan Tionghoa. Jadi bukan kebudayaan Cina, tapi kebudayaan peranakan Tionghoa namanya.
Culture and all the intrinsic values within it are formed through a long journey of men and the universe. How culture and men are interconnected in the warmth between one another. Respect each other, completing each other, enriching one another. The existence of Chinese ethnic in the archipelago had enriched the culture's richness that needs to be preserved. All of these are clearly depicted in a small town in the province of Central Java. In between the twin mountains of Sindoro and Sumbing lies the city of Parakan. Chinese ethnicity in the city of Parakan feels unique since in Indonesia, Chinatowns are usually located along coastal areas. Its long history has revealed something that we all can learn from. Ancient cemeteries are found in Parakan as an archaeological proof that records the timeline of ancestors residing under the hillsides of Sindoro Sumbing as immigrants from the land of China.
This ancient Chinese tomb is the silent witness of the Chinese ethnics in Indonesia, especially in Parakan, even far before the 18th century.
The market and its food are some of the everlasting artifacts from a culture that goes by the name of Peranakan, or descendants. Generally, Peranakan is a subculture formed through the mainstream interaction between Javanese and Chinese. It can also be a result of our acculturation and tolerance of Islam, the teachings of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism.
Mereka itu sebetulnya berangkat dari sana tidak punya konsep. Apakah saya mau di pantai, apakah saya mau di gunung, itu tidak. mengalir begitu saja, ya toh. Tapi mereka sampai di sini itu mencari peluang. Saya bisa mengambil peluang dalam bidang apa dan bagaimana cara yang paling menguntungkan. Jadi di Parakan ini memang sebagian besar itu pedagang tembakau, tapi untuk berhasil dalam ekonomi tidak hanya tembakau. Jadi misalnya ada pedagang kain, ada juga pedagang pecah belah, ya. Kemudian ada juga toko besi. Itu semua maju-maju, ya. Hanya mungkin yang membuat mereka maju ini adalah merupakan suatu ilmu dari para leluhurnya soal Konghucu. Semangat dari inti pelajaran Konghucu itu memang harus bekerja keras sampai mencapai suatu puncaknya dalam karir apapun.
Religion and faith are the representation of freedom of choice of a human being that realizes the existence of God. Presence in the world must originate from struggling ancestors of the past. Chinese New Year celebration has become a platform of reflection and expectation for the coming year.
Imlek itu merupakan suatu perayaan yang paling besar dalam satu tahun. Itu mesti disambut dengan penuh gembira. Ini merupakan suatu perayaan rakyatnya. Semua memperingati. Dan diperingati oleh semua suku Tionghoa dimanapun dia berada, apapun agamanya. Nah, disitulah mereka merayakan dengan pernak-pernik yang khas, misalnya seperti lampion dan lain sebagainya. Itu tidak hanya ditemui di Indonesia, tapi dapat dikatakan di seluruh dunia yang ada suku Tionghoanya.
Hock Teng Tong Vihara is a true origin of Chinese New Year celebration in the city of Parakan. The sense of warmth and openness of this place of worship has turned it into a place where people would gather, those who have well accepted such form of acculturation. Young people from a variety of ethnics and beliefs gather here to learn about something new and different and things that pique their curiosity. They practice to perform the art of barongsai and liong. At a glance through their innocence, rhythm, step, stand, and other movements resemble the art of self-defense called Kung Fu. The ancient Vihara that provides a backdrop to the activities of these group of young people was established in the 19th century from a collective effort of Chinese families residing in the region. Letters inscribed on a piece of framed paper or several other wooden plaques are the accounts of those who have contributed in any way. The facade of Hong Tek Tong Vihara in Parakan had underwent repairs tens of years ago. A number of supporting pillars are deemed fragile, prompting the building of new structures without changing its interface or the building in its entirety. Parakan is fortunate to be able to preserve all traces of its glory. The elegance of artifacts are well preserved until now for many essential purposes. This is Bante House. Not everyone is allowed to enter these days. Its usages mainly for the retreat of Bante Buddhists, turning it into a sacred site that must be respected.
Bante House is a place to contemplate and meditate to find peacefulness before praying for the Chinese New Year. Because Chinese New Year, it's not only about celebration, but about finding peacefulness and hoping for the best.
Before the big celebration of Chinese New Year takes place, the entire family of the descendants generally hold ritual of prayers and worship. The ritual of respect it pays towards their ancestors manifested into smaller ceremonies within families. Other than a sign of respect to the ancestors, the prayer within the Chinese culture is also conducted as a celebration of happiness alongside the ancestors. Therefore, delicious dishes are served on the great table, presented to the utmost completion.
During Chinese New Year celebration, families usually organize prayer procession to honor their ancestors. It's not only about religion, but it's an age-old Chinese tradition that is preserved until this day. Because it's not simply only about worshiping, but fulfilling the filial piety through worshiping and respecting ancestors and also traditions.
To send dishes and presentations to ancestors in the other world, fire is deemed the most suitable element. This house belongs to Lo Jingti, the descended ancestors, who was also a master of Chinese Kung Fu, then resided in the city of Parakan. The art of self-defense that he mastered and passed on to generations had put colors in the spirit and courage of the people of Parakan since the colonial time of the Dutch and the Japanese in Indonesia. The art of self-defense teaches goodness. Its firm stance brings forth courage to fight for justice. The descendants in the era of Dutch military aggression in the 50s had come forward to provide support to the local people fighting against the Dutch colony in the beginning of independence. What they earned then was contributed to support Indonesia's independence when the republic was so young, before the Round Table Conference affirmed the acknowledgement of the Republic of Indonesia in the political minds of European nations. Not far, there seems to be maximum effort to rescue all structures and details of a house called Gambiran. This house is utterly unique. On its front side, almost all elements show this house belongs to a Chinese ethnic family. However, the carvings on the supporting pillars of the roof show that there is still a heavy influence of the Javanese culture. The decorative floor was set in such precise calculation that every single square is covered perfectly. And each room antique beds are placed side by side with a golden bowl. These bowls accentuate the character of the house. They play an essential role in the activity of consuming betel leaves in the 19th to the 20th century for mouth and gum health. Therefore, the betel leaves and all its accompaniments have such exotic values. The availability of a golden bowl since the atmosphere of the Gambiran house the way it would be when the descendants started living in the city of Parakan.
Rumah ini saya beli saat dalam kondisi yang sangat parah gitu. Jadi plesteran sudah mengelupas, sudah boleh dikatakan berantakan ya, hancur gitu ya. Tapi saya bisa menggosoknya dengan mengkonservasi, mengembalikan lagi. Kebetulan saya memang hobi mengkoleksi barang-barang seni, barang peranakan, jadi seperti intan lagi lah istilahnya tuh. Kita bisa lihat rumah ini tuh seperti pada saat dulu ditempati oleh si Kim Tan gitu. Jadi itu yang bisa menjadikan satu model atau orang bisa melihat bagaimana sih sebetulnya arsitektur peranakan Tionghoa itu seperti apa gitu. Sekaligus dengan barang-barang yang dipakai itu seperti apa gitu.
In the back, there is a rather mellow building in the Hindi style. The dominant nuance of white is clearly European influence. The intricate furniture with accentuated Art Deco can be easily identified as a major achievement in the taste of Europeans that stopped by. Everything that is visible in the back of the house have shown that globalization once took place at the time before this day. The descendants in their times, as if admiring beauty, had taken advantage of the best materials to create an eternal achievement. The night is approaching. The sky is ready to pour in heavy rain as the evening of Chinese New Year looms. The lanterns symbolizing hope and extending prayers at the Vihara of Hoc Tek Tong are alight. The combinations of a pair of Leong dance, gracefully signifying harmony that everyone is longing for, sparking the arrival of the water tiger. The merriness is abound. These evening prayers and gratitude are extended to the heavens. The fate is handed to the Almighty. Men, with their knowledge and predictions, can only forecast and conduct whatever is best to be done and whatever is worst to be avoided. All set their own calculations. Peranakan or descendants is generally the blend of culture in between races, backgrounds and many others that differentiate one man to another due to a larger sociological perspective. The basic needs of men continue to expand, making sociological boundaries so narrow to some people. But this does not apply to Edi Suharto and Salmi Yarsih. Differences in ethnicity are no obstacles to embark upon a happy life together.
Kebetulan untuk istri saya tidak ada masalah juga, jadi netral-netral, malah saya yang sudah hampir luntur, dia yang mendukung begitu. Saya sudah hampir luntur, tapi dia masih mendukung. Misalnya seperti ini, besok ada acara Sinja, saya malah lupa, dia sehari penuh bersih-bersih rumah, baru saya tahu, oh besok Sinja, misalnya begitu. Terus menyediakan angpau untuk anak-anak juga dia, saya malah seperti lupa gitu, malah luntur, malah dia yang mengingatkan gitu.
Kalau masalah itu pasti ada, saya di rumah tangga juga ada masalah, cuman perbedaan itu tidak saya bawa-bawa. Maksudnya, oh, saya taunya engkau itu baik, engkau sayang sama kita, sayang sama keluarga. Terus dia juga bermasyarakat. Justru saya terheran, bahkan saya malu. Engkau itu sering nyumbang-nyumbang itu loh. Saya punya suami yang luar biasa. Benar-benar suami yang bisa bimbing saya menjadi seperti ini. Kalau enggak ada engkau, saya enggak tahu saya jadi apa gitu.
It isn't easy to blend different cultures. However, to those who are able to, it is certain that it will become an achievement of mankind truly precious for a civilization.
Parakan is maybe only a small town in central Java, but this beautiful hidden gem scenery located between two mountains, Sindoro and Sumbing, is full and rich of tolerance between different ethnics and even beliefs. This portrays the motto of Indonesia, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity. Monica Conado, TVRI World.